Hey everybody, welcome to Monday Night Live in Lexington, you guys. My name is Kathryn Kauffman and I'm a psychic medium here in Lexington, Kentucky. Welcome to my every Monday night show. This is where we discover what and who we are in this journey called life. Hey all you guys over here on Instagram, Phone Wax 7, Spiritual Jess, my Monday night buddy Miss Joy Hall, good to see you. Raja Goods. I'm telling you, I'm going to be doing this a lot tonight because everything's in bloom and everything is just blowing up around me with pollen and it's driving me crazy. Hey to Sheila Sunley over here on Facebook. Sheila, can you give me a sound check and make sure the sound is working? Yeah, just make sure the sound is working. I know it's working on Instagram. We never have any problem with the sound on Instagram. We always have problem on the other platforms. Hey to Angela Atkins and my other Monday night buddy, Miss Yasmin Jadoon. Thank you, Sheila. Thank you. Thank you. Finally, everything is working appropriately except for the intro. The intro kind of cut off prematurely, but I'm not going to complain at this point because I'm so tired of technical glitches. I could just scream. Hey to Deborah Hoskins. Good to see you guys on YouTube. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please subscribe for new videos because I'm going to be doing a big teaching thing this summer. And you don't want to miss out on any of that because some of my buddies in the neighborhood here are going to help me film the mediumship classes. Hey to Celtic Prepper. Good to see you guys. All right, tonight is a very interesting topic, and I have visual aids for this. So I'm sorry about you guys on Instagram. You're not going to be able to see the visual aids because they're on the main platforms over here, but I will be talking about them. So you may want to take notes, or you may want to hop over to either YouTube or Facebook to see these things that I put together for you guys. And I was actually just talking to a friend of mine last night about the situation. Her mom is a 90-plus-year-old person who does this. They see and talk to people who've passed on. And it seems to unnerve her a lot. But I personally feel like this is a very comforting thing to me because what it says to me is that the transition will not be traumatic for her and that she's already in communication with them. And so when she does pass, it will be sort of an easier transition than most people who die real suddenly and they don't get that adaptation that this allows. I think that passing in a natural way where this process is allowed to occur kind of eases the transition from the physical world into the non-physical or spiritual world. And we're going to discuss kind of how that happens. But first, we have these visual aids that I'm going to make you suffer through. All right. This all has to do with brain waves of the person. And we're going to actually, I want to look at, before we go into this, let's look at the basic brain waves. The basic brain waves that you go in and out of every day. These are the ones that you utilize every day. Now, these are not all of the brain waves, but these are the major ones that you use on a daily basis. Beta wave is 14 to 30 hertz. And when I talk about hertz, I'm talking about cycles per second. And it's focused awareness or focal awareness where you're paying attention, you're task oriented, and the brain waves are kind of fast. 14 to 30 hertz is what we're looking at here. Hey to my beautiful neighbor, Miss Angela Shields. Good to see you. So that's that focal awareness. Now, the next step down is alpha wave, which is 9 to 13 hertz. And that's a calm, light, meditative state of mind. You're not focused on anything, and you're just kind of daydreaming or maybe relaxing and open to a lot of stimulus. And it's really, you're not paying attention to much of anything at that point. And what that does is it's a slower brainwave. 9 to 13 hertz cycles per second is less than 14 to 30. It's slower. And so it allows you to connect with the subconscious, and it allows that subconscious information to float through to you. And so you can gain a lot of insight in alpha wave meditation. The next brainwave that we're dealing with is the major one that is instrumental in how the elderly can see the dead, or how mediums communicate with the dead, and that is theta wave. Theta wave is 4 to 8 hertz cycles per second, and it is a very deep trance-like meditation where you're so connected with something that you're not paying attention to anything around you. Okay, you are connected with what you're meditating or focused on. It is a very slow cycles per second brainwave. This is the particular brainwave that spirits communicate on. It is also part of your sleep state. So in your sleep state, you will rotate between alpha, theta, and delta back and forth. And so when a spirit visits you in a dream, they are specifically using theta wave as the mode of communication through the subconscious. Now, I want you to remember that, because that is exactly what we're talking about with the elderly tonight. Delta wave is an even slower brainwave state, and it's 1 to 3 hertz cycles per second. It's a deep, unconscious sleep, or a deep sort of unconscious meditation where you're not really aware of much. Interestingly enough, delta wave, when you use that as a meditation, your memory capacity and your memory recall increase threefold, which is extremely important for people who are in school or having to take tests and retain information. So, hey to Jonna LEX. Let me make sure that, oh my gosh, I'm not messing anything up here. Oh, I might have knocked Instagram off trying to do a wave. Sorry about that. Maybe I haven't messed things up. It still says that it's connected. And hey to Anna Torn over here on Instagram. Good to see you guys. And if you have any questions over here on Instagram, please, I will try to watch the comments section. Same for you guys over here on YouTube and Facebook. Hey to Judith Hezek. Good to see you tonight. If you guys have any questions at all, please put them in the chat and I will be watching for that. So Janice says, can't see you on YouTube. Well, that's a problem, but hey, Yasmin, can you see me on YouTube? And Celtic Prepper, can you see me on YouTube? Give me a shout out here and let Janice know if it's her YouTube or if it's YouTube in general that's not working. And hopefully you guys can hear me. Okay, let's go on to the next part of this. We go through different brainwaves at different stages of our life, and this is what we're going to look at, and it kind of explains why the elderly can see and hear people that we can't. Okay, I need to go back to, here we go, ages 0 to 12. Ages 0 to 12 years old, 80% of their brain waves are alpha or theta range consciousness. And So what's happening at that point, and that's why kids are more, thank you, Deborah, I appreciate that. So Janice, it might be your YouTube, some setting on it or something, because everybody else on the YouTube is able to see me. So you may want to check your settings and see if everything is turned on, or if that's all working correctly. But I'm glad you're over on Facebook watching the stream anyway. Hey to Jacqueline Johnson. Thanks for tuning in tonight. I haven't seen you in a while. It's so good to see you. Big kisses. Okay, back to attention, Kathryn. Attention. Okay. When a person is first born until the ages of 12, 80% of the brainwave is alpha or theta. Okay. And remember, theta wave is the receptive brainwave state for spiritual communication. So that is exactly why kids have more psychic abilities and they see and hear spirits more than adults do. And this is going to explain to you why. Because a child at that age, what they're doing is the information is being flooded in. And so information is going inward. Kids are becoming familiar with their surroundings. They're experiencing people and how they react and becoming how to become a part of a group. And so it's a lot of information that is flooding in. And so their attention span is extremely short. They're not focused. It's just like a bombardment of information that they're taking in at that point. Yes, absolutely, Jacqueline. It's been too long. Now, what happens at the age of 12? And I wish you guys on Instagram could see this. But at the age of 12 to 24 years, 80% of the brainwaves are beta and alpha range, because puberty has set in and suddenly children are paying attention to maybe people they're attracted to, and the hormones are starting, and so that elevates the brainwaves to beta. They still have a lot of alpha wave, which is that light, floaty, meditative brainwave state, but puberty has kind of overrun the consciousness, and it is causing a lot of focused awareness on other people. They're also in school, and so they're learning, they're having to focus, they're paying attention, they're taking tests, but they're also daydreaming about the future. So you can see we've got that strong beta wave, but then we have some alpha wave, which is a light meditative state where they're daydreaming about the future and who they might be with and how the future might seem. So we get a mix from 12 to 24 of beta and alpha. Okay, I'm going the wrong way. Okay, ages 24 to 40. Now, this is where 80% of the brainwaves are alpha predominantly, and then some beta. Because at those ages, maybe we've landed that job we want, we finally got the salary we want, we're calming down, we're becoming centered, we're becoming established, we're still learning, but we're not under stress and test taking of school to get it done and get that degree and get that job. Okay, we've kind of arrived at the station, and there's a calming effect. So most of the brainwaves are alpha. That's that light, relaxed, meditative state. But we still have some beta because we still have some work to do from 24 to 40. And we're also raising children, and we're paying attention to their needs, and we're making sure that they have everything that they need, and we're teaching them. And so beta wave is kind of balancing out the alpha there. And there's a little bit less stress in that 24 to 40 range. Now we look at ages 40 to 70. 80% of the brain waves are alpha and then theta. And so what that means is maybe we're retired in the middle of that. The extraneous worries have lessened some, but now we're having more physical pain as we age. So a lot of people will externalize their consciousness because of the pain. And so what we're doing at this point is we're kind of externalizing or projecting the consciousness somewhat out of the body for relief. And that is that theta wave. Okay. There may be like increased TV watching as a form of distraction, not only from painful worries, but from worries about or death and people. You know, the older you get, the more dead people you know. I mean, and so when your friends and your family all start to pass, some people don't want to face it, and they will engage in distractive type of activities in order so that they don't have to think about that. And some people are starting to age and they're having a lot of pain, and they may need to externalize their consciousness so that it takes it somewhat away from the pain that they're having. And this is normal aging. Everybody has pain when aging because this gravity. It's all gravity, kids. It's all gravity. Okay. Now here's where we get into the topic tonight. A special shout out to George McKinney. I'm so glad to see you tonight, guy. Ages 70 and greater, 80% of the brain waves at this point are theta and delta. Remember, theta wave is the main brain wave that we use for mediumship. Hey to KY, GS Ryder over on Instagram. Good to see you tonight. I'm going to do a wave without disconnecting there. Okay, so the elderly, sleeping is a big part of their day, and that is that delta wave, that unconscious sleep. It's difficult to arouse somebody when they are in that state. That person has to be reoriented to their environment once you wake them up. And it may take a few minutes. And when awake, they sometimes are not focused on you, and you'll literally have to get right down in their face and say, hey, look at me. I'm right here. Can you talk to me? So when the person is awake too, they may not fully be in an attentive state, or they may not be in alpha or beta wave. They may still be in theta wave. And at that point, they may not be focused, and they may be talking about somebody who's passed on that they're seeing. They may be actually having a conversation with them, and you can't see anybody there. And they have to be reoriented and refocused by their caregivers or companions to perform their activities of daily living. Like, you may have to really reorient them to get them attentive enough to take their medication. Special shout out to my sister, Vera Kahneman Melkeman. Good to see you tonight. This topic is for you. So, but because most of their brainwave state is theta, they are communicating with people who have passed on. Now, the other 20% of their brainwave state is when you reorient them to beta wave to get them the brainwaves elevated enough to where they can walk to the bathroom or take their medicine or get cleaned up. But as soon as they go back to their chair or their couch, and they fall asleep, they're in delta wave for a while. And then that might run into them waking up a little bit and them seeing people who have passed on. Hey to Rita Fox, good to see you guys tonight. So it's as you age, look, everything slows down, including your brain waves. And that's a natural process. It's a natural studied process. And I'm simply saying that, when I do a mediumship, I use theta wave meditation to connect with the spirits that are around and want their messages heard. And so it's a special process for me to do that. I don't do mediumship like you see on TV. I feel like what you see on TV is made for TV. But anyway, studies show, here's a little handy hint from Heloise. Studies show that during physiological aging, there's a generalized slowing of the EEG activity. This is natural, okay? And so the amplitudes decrease as you age. That's normal, healthy aging. And increases in delta and theta wave are shown in these studies. And so it's theta wave that the person is using to be able to communicate with the other side. I hope this makes sense for you guys, and I hope it kind of puts it in a scientific light so that it dispels a lot of the mystique behind it. And, you know, that's part of my job, is to dispel the mystique and try to make this understandable for everybody so that it doesn't feel mystical or scary, but it is a normal process that everybody goes through as we get older. And now that I've broken it down into age groups and kind of shown you, you know, how you go through different brainwave stages as you age from beginning to end, it kind of makes sense if you look at, you know, what kind of activities that you engage in the earlier part of your life and how things slow down in the latter part of your life and how that feeds into correlation with brain waves and how the elderly, they are seeing the people who've passed on. And I think that it helps for an easier transition, because once they lose their body and they're able to transition into that other state, it's just going to feel like the conversation maybe that they had yesterday in their recliner. You know, it's not going to feel that much different. And so it is going to be easier for that elderly person to reorient to this new existence that they have with their loved ones. I hope this helped you guys understand things, and I appreciate every single one of you that tunes in. And if you found this in the least bit valuable, or you think somebody might benefit from the videos, please share the videos with them. Don't let them go through life scared or wondering what's happening. If you think that they would benefit from this, you know, copy and paste that link and send it to them and just say, just watch the video. For those of you guys that are on YouTube, I appreciate you guys. If you would subscribe, and if you guys are on Facebook, I will see you next Monday night. Go ahead and hit the like button and the follow, and I will see you guys next Monday night. Until then, you guys have a fabulous week. Kisses from Kentucky, and I will see you on the flip side next week.